Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome everyone. Shall we get started, Dada? Okay,
Please.
lovely. Namaskar, welcome. So, on behalf of Prout Global, I would like to warmly welcome you to our event today. We're thrilled to have you join us for what promises to be an insightful and engaging discussion. Today's event features a presentation followed by an open debate between our esteemed speakers and you, our audience. We encourage you to share your thoughts and questions during the debate segment, and as we believe your contributions will enrich the conversation. So you can maybe take note while the presenters are presenting and then share questions afterwards. Before we dive into the presentation, please note that this event is being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel afterwards. You're welcome to share the link with others or revisit the content at any time. The total duration of the event will be 90 minutes. Our speaker will present for approximately 40 minutes, and then we will open the floor for questions and discussion. And then at the end of the discussion, we will kindly ask you to complete a feedback form, which will help us improve future events. Your thoughts and opinions are very important to us. And finally, please don't forget to follow our social media channels and visit our website for updates on upcoming events and news. We hope you enjoy the event and thank you for being here. So without further ado, we have three speakers today. I'll introduce the first two, and then the third will introduce himself. So the first two speakers are Dante Faraoni, or Dhruva, and Tarcisio Bonotto, or Tapan Kumar. Dhruva is the lead coordinator of the Europe Social Network Now project, a priority initiative for Italian Proutists aimed at spreading Neo-Humanism and Prout across the globe, across Europe, in response to the ongoing socio-economic crisis in the European Union and the rise of divisive ideologies. This project seeks to establish a public social network as an alternative to the media dominance of multinational corporations. Backed by the Prout Italia Research Institute, Dhruva is working on a strategy to officially present this proposal to the European Union, with the goal of collecting 1 million signatures to push for a debate in the European Parliament and Commission. Tarcisio Bonotto, or Tapan Kumar, is the Secretary of PU Provincia Italia and the Prout Research Institute. He is part of a group of Proutists in Italy known for their unity and collaborative decision-making. He has been involved in the creation of multiple projects, including the establishment of the Movement for Economic Democracy as a political party. Additionally, he contributes to Il Neo-Humanista, an online newspaper, and various initiatives of IR Prout, leading membership campaigns across the European Union. So we are honored to have Dhruva and Tapan Kumar, as well as Pranesh here, who will introduce himself after they speak to share their valuable insights. And I'll hand it over to you, Dhruva, to begin.
Yeah. Wait, there is some. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Namaskar to all. Presentation is already done, and I will present this project. What I am saying is that we have a problem. We have a problem everywhere. Economic globalization is over. And now the situation of the world is that e- every everywhere everybody want globalization, but until now it's not possible to have, because the world is divided into different blocks. We have USA, China, Russia, BRICS. It is another block. All this uh, powerful, they want to conquer a world. They want to become first in the economy. They want to become first everywhere. But now what is happened is only one thing. It is just clash and war. This is the situation of the world today. And about Europe, what we can say about Europe? Europe, we should say only one thing. We have a war in the east. We have war in the south. We have war, ideological war inside of Europe, because Europe, it is not like USA, China, Russia, India. They are federation. They are already a kind of organizing government and institutions. But Europe doesn't have this. They are different states, different country, and every country have own interest. But there is not something together. For example, it is very important to say that in Europe there is no only one penal code. Any nation have its own penal code, and this is when you are organization of one state or one zone. No, penal code is very important because if something is doing something wrong, you can do in Hungary, but maybe in Italy it's not the same. And all these things make Europe really in a position that everybody can come, everybody can say, but nobody is decided. The future, it can be only change. We should change. Prout have the strategy to change. Prout have the strategy to change the world. Baba say we should organize different samaj around the world. This samaj should make together in continental federation, and from continental federation it will be world government. This is the plan. In Europe now we have just two samaj, maybe three. So in this moment, the project of that Prout organize, it is not possible to realize. It is not possible to realize also in Italy, in Germany, where there are some magic. To realize some magic, there are one point, one focus very, very important. It is common sentiment legacy that is coming from language, historical tradition, literature, common usage and culture expression. If you see Europe, Europe is a multicolor nation, and this characteristics cradle of thousands of years. We are very old, and there is different kind of cultural expression. We have also democratic values. The history of our continent of Europe, it is also an expression of democracy. Not only, but also democracy. If you will see Europe, no, maybe I know better than more of you, but if you see Czech, Denmark, Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Hungary, Germany, Austria, so rich, so a lot of cultural richness are there, and this is one of the peculiar and incredible experience of this part of the world. So what I am studying is that culture, it can be media, is a media to realize the new Europe. With culture, people raise their socio-economic consciousness. I am not saying this. Baba say these things. The culture, it can be the way just to arrive to socio-economic consciousness. This is very important. But now in Europe, what we have? We have a situation very strange, because we are full of culture, full of history, but some linguistic imperialism is coming in Europe. This is another talk of Pierre Sarkar. Primary importance is the cultural and socio-economic consequence of linguistic imperialism. Now, this new language, we have different kind of language. Cinema is kind of language. Pictures, images is a kind of language. And now social media have created a proper language. And social media is just entering in all our house. It is entering in the mind of your boys, your friends, your brothers, your mother. But social media today, what is that? Social media are private global company, and their purpose is just to make money. If you all the system, it is just you can sell and you can buy. I know 10 years ago it was different, but the purpose it was always the same, just to sell and buy, sell and buy. And this system has become very powerful, They control communication, information, also part of culture. But the culture that we are looking today, it is just what they are expressing, what social media are expressing. This is one European statistic that 70% of Europe public opinion is derived from social media. The language, it is expression of materialism. And with social media, everything is become business, This is the situation. This is another thing that Baba says, when capitalists want to exploit a group that has more developed culture, heritage, they use psycho-economic exploitation to paralyze people in the psychic sphere by imposing pseudo-culture. This is what is happened today with social media. There is a lot of million of people hypnotized from social media, you know. And when I speak about social media, I am nothing against technological innovation or these things, because this is a extraordinary news, extraordinary machines. But machines have not mind. They are mindless. But the mind of this machine, who are, who is the, who is controlling, who is just creating all this world? Super rich people with one goal: profit. They don't have too much interest of culture, humanism or neo-humanism. If they can get money from that, it's okay, but it is difficult to find money from these things. So the situation now is mass manipulation. Through social media, they are doing this. And in Europe, we have a big problem, you know. Social media is controlling also politics, system, and politician. And they are pushing to the flame of nationalism. And you know, dogma is nationalism is a dogma. In the past, this kind of dogma destroyed Europe, you know, with war. So, what is now the situation in Europe law, or how they are manage social and communication and information. United Unions, they are attempt one, how it is called in English, it is just some directive, you know. It is coming, it is called Digital Market Act. This many page, I read all these things, not completely, but where they are just take direction, take law for digital market. In Europe, they create one format. There's just 6 gatekeepers. These 6 gatekeepers, you can see Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, ByteDance, this is Chinese, Meta, and Microsoft. This European Union, the Commission, say that they are platform, and they create a separate regulation for for the market with rules to follow, etc. There is a lot of bureaucracy about this that you cannot imagine. The question is that if you want to become gatekeepers, you should have such a peculiarity. To have this peculiarity, you should be a big multinational corporation. Otherwise, you cannot be gatekeepers, you know. So this means that nobody just now can become gatekeepers in Europe. And in this way, Europe European Union, they are cancelled competition law, There is just, they are just say, we put monopoly, and this is. If you can enter, you should have maybe, I don't know, 50 billions of euros to invest on these things. But there are not companies that it can doing like this. No. The question is that Europe put law, but it is very difficult just to how to say, just to respect this law. It is very difficult. And the question is that in this way, European unions, they opening the way to possible pressure from stakeholders. What means that they get money to the politicians, it is happened, and they can do what they want. Now, the history of communication in Europe, it is that always there was regulation. Before with radio, and then with television, with the public television, private television, there was rules, And for now, there is no specific rules to defend the cultural and digital sovereignty, because there is monopoly. What they decide, no, they can told to the people what can they decide. So, situation only if Europe, European Union, it will start one European social media, public European social media. This can be the only solution. There is no other solution, because only United European Union can be compete with this giant of the communication. There is no others, You must take lead of creating an independent digital platform. They can do this to defend democracy, information pluralism. This is very important, and identity of European people. Now, what Elon Musk say, it is become the law for a million of people in Europe. The question is that I am thinking always, no? I don't want to make war, but European have century and century of history and culture. And Elon Musk, it is coming from one place where they are some centuries of history and some century of culture. They are very young. They are not really few things about culture, And the situation is that Elon Musk can just say to Europe how we should do. So this European social media, it is needed just to balance. But the most important things, I am not right here, and I am also finished. It is that in reality, the European peoples, I can say Czech, Denmark, Spanish, Italians, also Italians and French people, they doesn't know one each other, you can say it is very strange. No, culture, language, all these things are very different. And all these things is just with the nationalism, with the separated. Every everybody is thinking for them, you know. I think that social media can be the way just to um, just put together, just to unite all this culture. Private social media, they cannot do this. Private social media, they manipulate and they exploit, but they cannot do this. For this reason, I think that in Europe we should start one proud movement based on neo-humanistic values. The name I already say, but we can change. Europe Social Network now. Second point is we should create a petition. And we can achieve different goals. Visibility for Prout, contact and get many people, lobbying and social influence capacity, contacting a lot of people, inspire the creation of the major movement in other countries, become direct interlocutors of Europe. We have all this possibility. Proudest of the Europe, unite. Proudest of the world, unite. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I take a little bit more time. Allora adesso vediamo un po' di tirare fuori. Okay.
Thank you, Dhruva. So I believe we'll pass it now to Tapan Kumar. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you. But there is no so much time, or I'm wrong. In such a case, I will leave the presentation to Pranesh. We may do another time. What do you think?
We still have, you can still present for another 20
okay.
minutes or so. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. So this is a presentation of the activities we do in Italy since a few years. The first, let me see. Okay. Why? Okay, it went on. Being a Prout Institute, we did a research in countryside of Verona about the dairy farming situation and agriculture situation. I was very curious. In that research, we discovered this, that there are no young people working in agriculture because several reasons which we list afterwards. And there is a big problem of for the dairy farming companies, actually. So what to be observed, there is a declining situation for the primary sector, which for which I was very alarmed, actually. So the big surprise was finding young entrepreneurs that you could count on one hand. Actually, out of 20 research, 20 companies which I visit, I found only one young farmer. And the other, actually, they went to work in the industry because there is no what is called proper income in agriculture sector. This we didn't know. We produce a book together with some of those farmers about the situation, which is called History is Us. Actually, we make history somehow. 250 pages, it was very well welcome. And in that book, we wrote also about the exploitation, corruption in the sector, which is huge. I could never imagine in Italy such a situation. What we did, cooperation with milk producers, because we find out that they are exploited by the trade unions themselves. The trade trade unions, which normally help the farmers, the companies, they are against. They become big company themselves, actually, which makes a lot of money on the shoulder of these farmers. These farmers, which I visit, they invite me to their trade union meeting, actually. So I participate. There are 150 to 200 farmers here, mostly dairy farmers, cow breeders, actually. So I participate to different of these meetings. And on those meetings, we always left the hand asking questions and proposing solutions. In these meetings, they were crying because of low price of milk. Everybody. So I was surprised. What's the problem? Why there is this situation? Secondly, they had to pay fines for having produced outside the quota imposed by EU. What does it mean? In Europe, there was once this fantastic idea of fixing the level of production of milk in Europe, because Germany and France were producing much more of their consumption. So Italy also had a quota, while we were importing anyway milk. So the quota was not necessary at all. But the quota was wrong in the amount. So all the farmers have been cutting to the farmers. They cut off the production of milk of 30%, 50%, 70%. So there was a complete crisis. Our contribution to these meetings was that we made a research into the reason why the low price of milk. Research into the original sin of the milk quota problem. Who was the responsible for that? Because they never spoke about. And who cheated these farmers, actually, and the whole sector. So what we did was a research analysis on milk production cost, because they didn't know what was the cost, their own cost. They didn't know. You can imagine that in Italy, the cost of all the agricultural products are established by ISMEA, which is a public body in Roma. In Roma, they are defining the prices of all the products in every province of Italy with algorithms. So what we discovered is this. I did the research on the price of milk in Veneto, one region, which was 51 cents a liter. I discovered that the prices set at the Verona Commodity Exchange are set by the processing companies, not by producers. You can imagine. So if you buy a mobile phone, the price of a mobile phone is determined by the producers. It is not determined by the shops where you go to buy not by you. But here, for the milk, for the agricultural products, the price is fixed by those who buy the products. You can imagine? Crazy. Completely crazy. So what we did is this. I went to see the list of cost of production set up by this ISMEA. ISMEA is the public body who fixes those prices in Roma. And we find out that 8 voices of cost are missing for a total of 9.8 to 15.49% less cost. So the price fixed by this ISMEA for all over Italy is around 5 cents to 8 cents less than what is the real cost in the company itself. I went to visit different companies and I got their cost of production list, and we compare this. This is the mistake of this public company. So we went to the Ministry of Agriculture. We presented this dossier, this research telling that this company is doing wrong accounting on the prices of the agricultural products. For the milk, it is about 5 cents to 8 cents less than what it is in reality. That's why there is a lot of crisis on the sector. There is no income. There are debts for everybody, and the companies are closing down. Yeah, another research we did was the sustainable price. So we thought if the cost of production is becoming the price, there is no income for the company. So what should be the sustainable price for this sector, primary sector, milk production, and also other agricultural products? We find out that there are different interpretations of the price: industrial price, fair value price, rational price, sustainable price. We found that the sustainable price was the best because it includes all the costs, but not all. The sustainable price is for environmental, social, ethical sustainability, but it is missing the economic sustainability. So we changed the interpretation of this sustainable price, including the economic sustainability. So they were very happy, the farmers, because they understood that the accounting and the cost of production were actually not proper because of wrong interpretation from the intellectual point of view, from a scientific point of view, these prices. So what we did afterwards, we participated to protest demonstration, the farmers movement. Actually, we come together with 50 other organizations of farmers and fishermen and dairy farmers, which is called COAPI, Coordination of Italian Farmers and Fishermen. And in this period, they are still demonstrating in many Italian cities. Inside this movement, why I participated inside this movement as a Proutist Prout Research Institute, and with another organization. There are 5 major problems that undermine the development of the primary sector in Italy. The traditional agricultural trade unions works against the farmers. They become lobbies. They become companies themselves. They make a lot of money, but they don't care at all about the single companies. I give you one example. Coldiretti, which is the major trade union, has opened one company themselves with 15 billion euro in cash. What we discover is this Coldiretti get for themselves 60% of all the European contribution to the farmers. So they take for them 60% for nothing. This is not correct actually, but they can do 40% for the farmers. Plus we have the low price paid at the field or at the stable for the dairy products or agricultural products, which is a common feature in Europe and all over the world. We have seen in India there are 300,000 suicides because of that. Low price, indebtedness, etc. Unfair competition from foreign dumped products. We get from outside wheat, for example, which costs 15 euro, while the cost of production in Italy is 27. But this is allowed, so the price goes down, the farmer doesn't get money, and the crisis comes. There is indebtedness of companies and closures as a consequence. 650,000 companies in 15 years have closed down in Italy. Then there are climate changes. In Sicily, for example, this year, the wheat has not been produced because nothing grow up, without water for at least 6 months. So we did several meetings with these friends company. And what were our contribution to this? The question will come, why we are participating to these movements instead of creating our own movements? I will answer you afterwards. So what was our contribution? Instead of having one only coordinator, we propose a committee of 6 managers, which helps the coordinator, because the coordinator, he does whatever he likes. But the things should be discussed together. Solution has to come together. So we propose a communication, organization, secretariat, finance, network expansion, institutional relation, which they accepted. Now there are 6 committees which help the coordinator. So this was the diagram we proposed to them to strengthen the organization. They accepted. Our contribution ideas. In one conference, they asked me, what is your idea of the present crisis? I told them, the present crisis is not only in agriculture, it is a crisis of economy, agriculture, industry, environment, climatic, biological, social, cultural, philosophical, moral, and spiritual. So it is a completely a crisis for all the sector of our society, all the places of our society, for all the people of our society. So it's complete change, actually. So we must care of having new ideas just to solve new problems. They have accepted also this. So our contribution to the protest movement in Italy started from 28th of January. We suggested that we should contact the population through a signature collection, distribute on leaflet, whatever. But we should speak with the people, common people. The population knows nothing about the condition of the farmers, breeders, and fishermen. They think they are rich. That's why they don't understand why they are protesting. So this is this is one of our protests in Milano. And the problem is the authorities. They don't understand still the problem, the problem of their sector, their region, So it is amazing. They are protesting since years, but it is difficult that the solution enter the minds of the politicians. Sorry. Fight against corruption. I was asked to participate to one association. Why? Association is called Milk Person and Territory Association, because if you want to go on trial because of corruption in this sector, if you do what is called if you ask for a trial as individual, they don't care. So we had to make an association, and we made the association because there are too many problems in the sector, dairy production. We almost finished. We find out that there are over 1,000 dairy farmers that have been fined because they produce more than the quota, Millions of euros they have been fined. 155,000 stable closed down in 25 years. 500,000 people unemployed because of closed down, and 90 debt-related suicide. So a crazy situation, actually. These politicians, they don't understand anything about that. They don't do anything, and this is the major problem. So we have to act in a legal way. So with this association, we do 2 legal actions. Request for generalized civic access to Agea, Roma, which is the company responsible for the fines to the farmers. We file a criminal complaint for 5 officials of the Agea, public company, agency, and Istituto Zooprofilattico Bovin Database for fraud. They defrauded the EU for over 1 billion euro, but they fraud also the farmers because they put every year 600,000 cows, non-producers of milk, as producers of milk, for which the farmer has to pay the fine. You know, crazy situation. It needs more explanation, you know, but we did this, and still we are collecting what is called the farmers which agree to file this criminal complaint, you know. We hope to have some good result. We publish this Neo-Humanist magazine, also with interview from the farmers, etc., which is good actually, propaganda for us. In spite of all the problems, the future is still bright. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stefan.
Yeah, thank you. Really nice. Thank you.
Great.
Pranesh, if you would like to present, we can move to you and then we open for questions.
Thank you. Just a moment. Namaskar. My name is Pranesh. I am working for Prout about 50 years, more or less. And now I'm taking, yes, I'm quite old in work. So I'm taking care of the projects of Prout Research Institute. This called in Italian Istituto di Ricerca Prout. It is we registered this organization in 213 in this place, Salso Maggiore, and it has been recognized officially by the Italian government. And we practically started promoting the ideas of Prout, first with some lecture and conferences and meetings and gathering, later through some projects. So I would like to show you some of the projects we did. So we have an headquarters which is in Salso Maggiore. It's a small town, a thermal town near Parma in center north of Italy. We have a small piece of land, and in this piece of land we use to receive the students of different schools and show them something about nature, about plants, climate, and everything, and to start some experiments. You can see on the right side we have some children who are planting some seeds. Then they will take the seeds at home and they will grow the plants. So this we started. Just a moment. So later we started some projects, some bigger projects, and we got financed by the this region of Italy, which is called Emilia-Romagna. And time to time they make some calls, and we participate to these calls, and we got financed. So we did some projects in 2016, 17, and 19. We continue to do almost every year. Which kind of projects? So the first one, it was called the Orto in Salotto, which means the vegetable garden in the sitting room. We teach the children how to grow plants, eatable plants, even in their house inside, or if they have a small garden, they can do in the garden. We went to the schools and we planted the trees. You can see as we planted, we made the holes, the children made the hole, and then they planted the tree in a courtyard of the school. And then they took care in the garden of the school, and they took care of these plants. Then we had some slideshows and some classes about climate changes, about the life of the plants and the trees, what's the importance, how they can absorb CO2, and how they can help containing and keeping the water, the dampness from the soil, and so on. So we did also, together with the children, we did a small booklet and a CD also about all what we said. Next project was financed by Cari Parma, which is a foundation, a bank foundation. So what it was called, we tried to adjust and not do anything about the climate changes. So what we did, we started a greenhouse. You see a dome, no? This geodetical dome, which is it resists very much to the wind and to the snow. Then also we had some projects for containment of the soil, made all in a natural way with these chestnut logs, which don't get rotten even if they are covered later with the soil. Then we have a lake, so we clean up the lake and we use it as a reservoir of water. We are saving all the water which come from the rain and also from a small spring which is in the middle there. There you can see also our greenhouse. And this lake, we made it waterproof not using plastic or other thing, but using some special clay. So there you see that we are working. We got the help of many local people, and also young people came to help us. So we made some kind of cooperation about this. Another project we did, all these projects are all financed, and non è mai troppo presto, it is never too early to start something about knowing what's going to happen in our environment. So what we did here, there was, in a school, they have a class of students, which it was the third class of the secondary school, and they're quite naughty, and they were not studying very much. So the teacher didn't know what to do. So we invited them to come to our place, and we put them to dig different holes and plant plants and clean up the place. And later, they liked it so much, so they asked us if they could reproduce this also in their school, and if they could come again to our place. And they changed it completely, their approach while they were studying. And so you see, here we have students, they are in the school and at the garden of the school, and they are trying to practically plant some flowers inside this school garden to make it nicer, and to put in practice what they learn in our place. Then we did another thing, which is the alphabet of the words in which we live. And it was about the sensations, the sentiments, how to recognize our sentiments, how to express them, how to control them with the children of, this was a second class of secondary school. And we made also them do some kind of drama, just showing different kind of expressing some kind of sentiments. They liked it very much, and they were very emotional after some showing and telling us about their personal problems. They were even crying about what they were saying. So at the end, we got a good response because they started behaving in a better way in their class. Of course, all this was a part of teaching them about a neo-humanism also. So it was an approach which was neo-humanistic. So we did also, we started a project with the Verona University, and Tapan Kumar got the contacts with the professor at the university, and we started this VVV, I wanted to live green. We are still bringing it on, it's not finished yet. And what we are doing with this project, I'll show you. First, we have 50 schools and 2,000 students. So we go to the schools, and what we will do, we will, with the use of a software, we make the student get some pictures of a place, a ugly place, the place where it can be made better, can be a street, it can be the courtyard of the school, it can be a square of the place of the village or the town where they live. So they take these pictures, then the picture gets converted into a 3D file in a computer. Then they get some quiz, and if they answer to the questions, then they get some rewards, which are some plants. And through a software, they can plant the plant on the place where they made the pictures. And at the end, they can see how the place will look. This is not a 3D now, but it will be a 3D picture. So you can walk around and turn it and move inside and to see how this, what they did looks. So this is what we are doing. But at the same time, you see, we are also giving them some other instruments, and we teach them few other things. So we speak about the climate changes, we speak about the conservation of water, about the trees, importance of the tree in holding the water and on the roots, and how the tree works, how their chemical works, on the biodiversity. And with them, we make also some experiments to show how the water gets absorbed into the water, into the soil, and how the plant can hold the water on their roots, and so on. And all this we do in a school with what is called a cooperative learning. So we divide them in groups, and each group start solving some problems and doing some questions and answering to some questions. Then they can interact each other, and in this way we make them understand that if they cooperate each other, if the different groups cooperate each other, then there will be a more advantage for all together. So, and they will get as I said before, on this quiz, they'll get more points. So if they share the information each other, then they get more points. They can make this environment that they choose, they can make it better. And at the end, they learn how to work together. We have a new project, and this project we just applied for a call for this Cari Parma, which is a foundation, bank foundation. So what we want to do, we want to improve the local community so it will become more self-sufficient in all aspects, even the social aspect. They will work more together, they will socialize more, and they will use the space. We are living in a countryside, in a hillside. So the project is called Colline Vive, which means hills which are alive hills. In this project, we took the help of young people, because we want to do this project especially for young people, for approaching the young people and make them do something and understand what is the philosophy behind it, this neo-humanistic philosophy, and also Prout philosophy. We have 5 young people for now, and we got in contact even with the local health department, who will send a few other young boys that are not boys who are at the moment are not studying and not working. So we will put them to make some activities and see if they can get a proper direction in their lives. This will be a project which we try to get financed by 100,000 euros. The problem will be that we have to put it will be financed by 80%. So we will have to put the 20%, which means 20,000 euros, and we have to find out how to get them. So the project will be about afforestation, cultivation with different methods, and biodiversity, involvement of local residents, building a resilient community of people, a cooperation, especially cooperation also, and opportunities for youth, and a green park open to the visitors, and opportunity also for, we are thinking for a startup, because some of these young people, they are highly educated, they have also university degrees, and they know how to work with the plants, with the environment, so they have quite high skills, but they are not properly utilized just because of the our economical situation. So we are trying to give some help and involve them more and more in these projects. I think this is all for now. I hope not to have taken too much of your time. If you want to ask some questions, thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Very beautiful approach. Namaskar. Thank you.
Wonderful, Pranesh. Thank you. Thank you all. Very practical and inspiring work that all of you are doing. I'll open up the floor for questions and conversation.
If you want to come to help in Italy, you are welcome.
Yeah, really, very, very welcome. And you can stay as long as you want.
Alandi,
Yes, Dhruva.
can I put one photo?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Wow.
We are working in
Here
a
we
new office. Bye, Dhruva.
office.
A new office.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We are working
In the mountainside. So we have an office in the plain, office in the mountainside. Now we will buy also office in the beach.
Okay.
So,
Then you can choose where you like to come.
10 years old.
Lovely.
Okay.
okay, thank you, Dhruva.
So if anyone has any questions, you can either unmute or you can write it in the chat and I will monitor and read whatever's in the chat. You already have some wonderful feedback in the chat. I don't know if you've seen. The floor is open.
No question means two things. Or we have understood everything, or we have not understood anything. So, sorry. Just to break
No,
the ice.
no, Tapan Kumar, we are all stunned. We are speechless. That's why we don't have any questions, because you have done such great work. It's very, very inspiring, very, incredibly practical, especially what you did with the farmers. I'm extremely impressed. And if we take that as an example, I hope that the work that Dhruva is planning with a social network will be as successful on a European level. Because I think this is very important, because it points directly to the fundamental problem with the EU, which is that it is a market. It is a capitalist marketplace. As you pointed out, it's not a federation. It's not based on Samaj at all, and it doesn't respect the local cultures. And we saw that in Tapan Kumar's presentation, that farmers in Italy has to compete with farmers in Germany and in France and so on and so forth, which is ridiculous. It is totally against the fundamental principles of Prout and economic democracy. So, yeah, I'm not joking by being speechless, because this work has pointed straight to the heart of the problem of what's going on in the capitalist European Union. So I don't have any questions. I just wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ramesh. We hope for the best.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Ramesh.
Hello, Deva. You have a question?
Yes, I am amazed also. It's super, super, super inspiring. Thank you very much. And my question is, well, how did you introduce yourself in the farmers movement? How it was this process? I believe not necessarily everybody from the Prout Research Institute are farmers. And but even though you create a connection, and more than a connection, you were being actively participant regarding their needs. And I'm wondering how this connection happened, how you introduce yourself, how you were going to be there. Because one big question I see amongst Proutists, from what I witnessed, mainly in Brazil for a while, is that we have many social movements that are very interesting, but we are the identity of Proutists can be too secluded, make it insular. And so I became impressed, and I have this curiosity. I have others, but I will let other questions being made, and I can ask later again on another thing.
May I answer? First of all, I was inquiring. It was such an inside inspiration just to see the situation of the farmers that I went around asking farm by farm, what was the situation with a piece of paper on which I had all the questions, just to make statistics. The last meeting, the last farm which I visit, there I discover the complete crazy situation of Italian dairy farmer. So from that, everything started. I could not sleep several nights, just to know about the situation of these dairy farmers, really speaking, because one friend of mine suicide, and then I understood why he committed suicide, due to the fact that he has to sell the farm, the cows, and he had nothing else left, because of a crazy situation from Europe and the Italian government. Everything started from there. Then I wanted to put my nose just to research why this situation. It was my inquiry, actually. Then somebody told, I participated several times to this trade unions meeting of the dairy farmers. And one of them, because I was asking questions, I was making proposals just to solve the situation. One of these people asked me, Mr. Bonotto, you are not a farmer. You are not an agriculture of this dairy farmer. You are why you are helping us? Why are you helping us? I told them, you see, I am a vegetarian, and if the agriculture crumble down, I am in crisis, so that's why I'm helping you. But it was because I want to go to the end of these things. No, we went to the Senate in Italy, but I have seen, and it seems to be everywhere, that the politics is very old. Our politician doesn't solve the problem, so we have to start a movement from base, from the ground. That is our objective. And I wanted to put my nose together with other associations, telling that I'm from Prout Research Institute, I want to collaborate, they accept me. And then, Prout has a solution, Andamarga has a solution for all our social, cultural, economic, personal, interior problems, etc. So while collaborating with them, I found one teacher who wanted to learn meditation. She was very inspired. I met economists, which are cooperating with us. And they don't know how to solve the problem. But when I present the Prout solutions, they accept it. So we have the solutions, which they don't have. We must come together and make our hand dirty with their work, actually. We shouldn't go inside these associations because they don't have solutions. We have the solution, and according to the situation, we present the solution, and they accept it. I was stuck, actually. I was surprised that during one conference, one asked the question, according to you, what is the crisis today? I explain it, they accept it. Now they are going in other conferences, just to tell the same. The crisis is in all the sectors. So these are Proutist ideas, actually. So if we Proutists have to start a farmers movement, we have to start from scratch. Instead, we can start from a good base, and the people accept us. I was amazed by the president of this milk person and territory association, which told, Mr. Bonotto, I like to work with you because of your sincerity and honesty. This has been taught by an Andamarga to us, and the people see this. So put this personal affair, plus the Prout ideas that we have, we can do a lot of work. We can solve the problem, but we have to put inside our nose. Please, if you have movements, go. Enter the association. Tell them that we have some solution, but not tell like that, Just enter, see the situation, just make friendship, and try to solve the problem. Thank you.
Brothers, there's a request to get your slide presentations, your PowerPoints. If you are willing to share them, could you send them to maybe Alokadeva, and then we can make them available to those who want them?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already done.
There was one question, how the people receive these Prout ideas. It is from you, Dada. How the Italian people respond to Prout, what ideas of Prout do they like, and what ideas of Prout do they think are problematic? You want to answer, Dhruva or Pranesh?
Can I say something?
Please.
Thank you. Yeah, I approach the different kind of people. So educated people, less educated people, young people, old people. So more or less they all approve what we are saying. But especially young people, they are very, very much more enthusiastic about it. The only point is that they are a little bit, how you say, frustrated because of the difficult situation today. So they know, they understand that it is a solution. But the difficulty is how to implement this solution. So with young people, I find it easier. with the very, very young, with the children, they understand easily because they accept everything. And that is the reason why we work also with the schools, because at least we give to these young people some new ideas. So maybe they will get some alternative to the problems, some solution to the problems of today when they become a little bit, they grow up. We will have to work, especially, I think, with the young people between 16, 17, and 30 years old. Those are those who have the most difficulty, at least here in Italy, because they have difficulties to find a job. Usually they are quite educated, but they don't see the future. They don't see any future. You know, we have almost 30% of educated youngs who are leaving the countries and go abroad because they find easier, easily they find a job, they get better paid, and so on. Then they would like to come back to Italy. And some are coming back actually, and they are planning to start some activities. That's why in the future we are thinking also about this, about some startups with the skills that the people have, so they can work in Italy and come back to their country. Old people, they accept, but they are very, how you say, they say that will be very difficult to put in practice this thing. There are too many problems. So that was the point.
There is another question. Is it a
Thank
good
you.
strategy to collaborate with the progressive political groups? May I answer? Because we did something which didn't work at all. Because these progressive groups, they have their own idea, and they cannot go out of this, diciamo, periphery of the idea. So I found myself, it is better to work with categories which are in crisis, you know, because those people have no space for us. I participated to a meeting of 1,000 Christian people, which has no room for proud ideas, for progressive idea at all. So they have to die alone, you know. We have to choose where we can help, where we can make a few steps, you know, we can progress in some direction. So we have to choose carefully.
Thank you
One
for those
thing,
answers.
do you prefer to have the slides in PowerPoint format or PDF format? PowerPoint is okay. In PowerPoint you can modify, so it's okay.
I think either is probably fine.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
just before others start to drop off, we have about 10 minutes left. There is a feedback form in the chat. I'll post it one more time now for others to give their feedback on this event. But I want to say a huge thank you to Dhruva, Tapankumar, and Pranesh for your presentations and your thoughtful answers to questions. And we can take a few more now before we close.
If I may say something, I wanted to try this approach because since 20, 25 years, we are making conventions, etc., meeting, we are speaking theoretically about Prout. The time is finished. We have to come down. We have to help the society. We have to do anything, give food to the people in needs, shelter to the people in needs. We have to make projects. We have to go to the school teaching to the young people. We have to do something practical. Anything can be good, you know? But theoretically, we know everything. So it is time to come forward, unite ourselves, I mean, just to work together because it is important, you know? Anyway.
Yes, there is.
The other question is, so in Prout language, work
Somebody
and
want to speak.
yeah, there is a question.
Vani Brata from Venezuela.
Yeah, there is another question.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, brothers and sisters. I'm very excited to have this chance to meet you. It was a causality because we usually work with my family on Saturdays, but this Saturday, just at the right time, I found out the link. And I'm very excited about your presentations. I've had a chance to meet with Supriya, Sister Supriya, and I really like to hear you because as Italians, you know a lot of European culture, and I have a lot of questions like what you mentioned about the digital environment. Yes, we need democracy in the digital world, and there are new borders that are being created. I just wonder, for instance, how you're going to deal in Europe, you guys, and in the United States too, with all these Russophobia, Russian phobia, that it's kind of vanishing. And you don't have, for instance, the channel Russian TV, and how we're going to deal with conflicts. So there's a lot to do in that regard. I will be contacting you on that. Then there's one thing also. I'm amazed about what you're doing in Italy with 5 young people to develop projects. And you may say 5 people, it's very little, but I understand that 5 people can change the world for what we've learned. And I will contact you also because there is in Trinidad, we are working together with other grassroots organizations. And there is an effort precisely for that profile of people, young people, that are developing this kind of farming. So an alternative for life. And it's not only for Italy, it's not only for Europe, it's not only for India, it's not only for Venezuela or for the Caribbean islands, it's for the world. The society itself is falling apart. And well, I just wanted to share that. I thank you very much for sharing your feedback, your input. And well, namaskar from Venezuela, dear brothers and sisters.
Namaskar, thank you to you. Thank you. There is another question. So in Prout language, work and collaborate with the workers, with not political groups, and works with not political groups. We had experience, we have to make ourselves a political group. Working with other political groups is wasting of time. Nabin Namaskar from India, Namaskar. So this is our experience, actually. A note, small notes. I wanted to make this approach, working directly with the farmers, putting my nose directly, how many trips I did from my house to the farms, you know, to see, to the meetings, etc., because we had to know the situation. If we want to make a political party, we should know also the situation in our country, no, in all the spheres. You know, we are working with the university. We know the situation there. We are working with economists. We are working with the teachers. We should know all this. We should get contact with everybody, you know, because, for example, with the teachers, we explained that we have a new teaching system. For them, it will be very useful. And they accepted also the idea, you know, which is very, very hard to put in the mind sometime. So whatever meeting you have, whoever person you meet, always we speaks about anything. I mean, with the person to solve the problem and to give new ideas, you know. The last point, with the old ideas, we don't go anywhere. So Prout and Baba's idea are the best. It is our university. Thank you very much.
Can I just speak? I cannot raise.
Can I say one little thing? Okay.
Maybe Nabin first and then Dhruva. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, namaskar to everyone. And yes, I know a little bit about Tapan Dada's effort. Yeah, it is a tremendous effort. Otherwise, it is not that much work has been done. Okay. So yeah, I followed him. Actually, we shared some thoughts about his work and other things. So that's why I know how much effort he is giving. And that is the only thing we have to do, because theoretically we are more theoretical than practical. So we know many things, but we don't act. That is the whole thing. So, but one thing is there, what I wanted to point out, that what Dhruva Dada was suggesting, the Prout strategy that creates so much, then Continental Federation, and then this Prout world or something like that. But that strategy is a very, okay, in my thinking again, it is a very broad one. Before going to the Samaj, we have a lot of work to do, like what Tapundada is doing. So we cannot create, we should not create political parties. Yes, it can be a political party, but we have to create a what Samaj movement, what Baba's called about it. And for that, we have to work very hard, not only work hard in the theoretical level, but in the practicality as well. So something we have to show them, because when Tapan Dada was just asked, have been asked, okay, how we can do that, we have to show some practicality as well. There, the other part of the organization comes into picture, and that also we have to go hand in hand. That is my another suggestions. Okay, so Prout will do the activity, bring the people together, but to convince them, we have to create something in concrete, and what Baba did by other part of the organizations. So that also we have to work on, and we have to work in a very coordinated way. That is my suggestions, and brought down that strategy to be more finer than that. Okay, creating a samaj. Before that, there is a lot of work has to be done. Yeah, thank you all.
Namaskar. Dhruva, do you want to say one more thing and then we'll close?
Yes, a little, yes. Thank you. No, I am asking to all Proutists Europe, from Europe, to make all together, to start a real group of coordinated all our
Dhruva,
countries.
close the
It can be
video.
some.
Close the video, Dhruva, because we don't understand so clearly. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you understand, but I think Baba is calling Europe Proutist. I think if we will start one project of coordinated cooperation, no, all the country of Europe can be appreciate our ideology, can appreciate our effort just to save this part of the world to zero culture, you know. What I am feeling is that young people cannot express itself. And if we will not start one movement now, nationalism, that is one of the big defects of Europe, it will take power. So we are doing one WhatsApp mailing list, WhatsApp chat, and there we will organize the work. So subscribe and then start to work together. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar. So a big thank you again to Dhruva, to Tapan Kumar, to Pranesh for your amazing work and for presenting it to us today.
Thank you to you for your patience.
It was wonderful.
Thank you for to all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I just wanted to make a comment about what Tapan Kumar said about not working with other progressive groups. I understand where you're coming from, and I think that from your experience, working in an applied environment like that. That makes total sense. But for the work that Dhruva is planning, you would need some collaboration with other progressive groups. So I don't think these two issues are contradictory. It depends on the situation. So sometimes we need to collaborate, and especially when we are setting the agenda, which is what Dhruva is doing, then you can bring other groups with you, and that is necessary. It is, what Bob is saying, unite the moralists. We need to do both.
Great.
Thank you. So
Thank you very much, Ramesh, really.
There's a feedback form now in the chat that's functional. So if you could please take a moment to fill that out, it will help us immensely. I will welcome Alok to speak a little bit about participation. Do you want to unmute, Alok?
Yes, thank you, Anandi. Namaskar, everyone. I want to say thank you for all your participation. It's very good to see the room full. We reached around 30 people. And thank you very much for the Prout Research Institute from Italy. And well, Proutist Universal Global is doing some effort to have more of a global platform where we start creating synergy amongst our works. As Dhruva mentioned, we just started a Prout group from Europe for birding sector plus Malta, because Malta is part of European Union and we have a Prout unit there. Anybody else that are active or want to contribute to this initiative, please reach out in the forms that Taraka shared in the chat. You can put your name, your email, and how you're willing to participate. And we are also creating a global. So Nabin from India, I guess, or at least you are Indian, maybe you know someone in India. Please reach out to us. There is this, I'll let my email also in the chat.
I just put the contact email in the chat for Prout Global.
Great, that's enough. And well, there are many initiatives besides that we are trying to organize a training with a mentoring for in implementing practical initiatives to start more of this experience of federation also in a global level. And as you all said already, we are all need to do that. So thank you very much again. And we have again next month. I guess Anandi will talk about it.
Yes, I was just about to say that. So we have our next ProutSpace on March 29th. At the same time, we will have Pradeepa from Portugal come and speak about the work that she's doing with the Prout Research Institute of Portugal. So it will be really wonderful to have all of you and more people come to join and hear about Portugal's work and engage in discussion.
Thank you. A question. Is it a ProutSpace or Prout Space Out? Sorry.
No, not space out. Space out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I just want to make
joking always.
Just to clarify, Tapan Kumar mentioned that working with other political parties, not with other progressive organizations, when he was talking. Just to make it clear about what he said, because it's recorded. So I guess he's working with progressive people from other organizations, but he was talking about the difficulty of creating synergy with other political parties. What I guess, well, we can create a discussion about it, of course. I'm not saying that I maybe agree, but we can discuss in another moment.
Thank you, everyone. And the recording will be available on our YouTube channel, and we will send that out in the Proutist Universal newsletter, so you can share that with people who didn't attend.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaskar.
you very much.
Namaskar.
Yeah, thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you. See you next. Namaskar. Namaskar to all.
Namaskar to everyone.
Excellent, brothers. Thank you very much.
Namaskar, Dada.
Namaskar. So happy you could make it today.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.